Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's video I'll explain how the various functions and operators are being used in SQL. For example, the or, where, and the sort, where the like, concat, base of cast, and many others. So welcome again. Stay tuned from the start to the last. So for the purpose of understanding, I'm going to use a sample question. I'm going to use like 7 questions for practical, then for us to understand better. So the questions will pop out. So these are the questions. The first question here, that's our first question. So we are told to select people from the person to person who do not have a title of Mr. Make sure to include null values in your result. So before I do anything, I must specify from which table or from which schema I'm going to use. In a scenario where you have more than one database, it is good to specify. Like for my case, I'm going to use Works from question 1 to the last question. Now, I'll first start by the word select star from person to person table. So this is the query I'm going to use. So when I execute this query, you see the results set as shown. But now the question requires this more specific on the kind of data it requires. So after running the query, the examiner only wants to see Mr. or don't want to see the title Mr. in the column title. So along this column, I'm only interested with any other title except Mr. So how do we go about? So I'm going to use the where clause after from. So this now how the where clause comes into play. As we all know, the where clause in SQL is used to filter the data retrieved from a database table based on a specified condition. So here we need to specify which conditions need to be met for the data to be retrieved. So the condition here, I'm going to use the title where title, the title not equal to Mr. So the title here is not equal to Mr. And or you can use or. Can I better use the or title is null or title is null. Then I execute the query to see the result. Good. So the output here, I'm getting 19,395 records as opposed to the previous. So before the where clause was introduced, let me see the records that we had. So you have 19,972 records. So when I introduce the where clause, it will filter to remove the Mr. the titles or those names with the title Mr. to remain with 19,305 records. So the number of records are now reduced, telling that the names with title Mr. have been exempted from our record. That's for question 1. Now proceed to question 2. Select all people from the person to person table with the initial TLC. Then you are given an int. You will have to apply criteria to the first name and last name column. You will have to apply the criteria to the first and last name. So I think there's something missing here. You also need to include the middle name. Middle name here. Include it. So anything with T in the first, or the first name, or the initial T must appear in the first name. Again, L must appear in the middle name, and C must appear in the last name. So the query here must take that into consideration. So first I need to select. Star from person to person. So I'm going to use this table here. To be more specific, yeah, I'm going to use the first name, middle name, and the last name. Okay. So those are the fields we're going to use. I'm going to use to extract the first, middle, and the last name. Having done that, the where clause comes in, where first name. So I need to filter out all those records, those names that have letter T, and the records whose middle names that have letter L and C for the last name. So let's say for the first name, like, so the function like or the clause like comes into play. So as we all know, the like in SQL allows for pattern matching in SQL. So like single quote T and then percent single quote. Okay, so that is for the first name and middle name, like. Now you need L for the middle and last name, like. C percent, then I close a single quote. So in this question here, the concept being tested here is the use of where clause, the like, and also and operator. So the three clauses or the three concepts is being tested. So if I execute, I now see the output displayed below with those initials being displayed. That is for question 2. Question 3, produce a list of the unique full names in the person-to-person table, including first name, middle name, and the last name. Only include the names that are values for the middle name. The output should be sorted by last name and then by first name in ascending order. In question 3, two concepts are being tested. The concept of sorting, that's number one. The other concept is the use of is not null, and of course the where clause. So three concepts are being tested in this question 3. So first I need to select all from the table is person. So I need to select the first name, middle name, and the last name. So that's when I run the query, I'll be able to see 3 names. The query must return a result set with 3 names. So let me include the square bracket. Middle name is not null. So in other words, the middle name must not be null. There must be something, the name in between of the initial. Okay. So the question doesn't stop at that point. It goes ahead and says the output should be sorted by the last name and then by first name in ascending order. So the order of sorting here. So sort by first name, comma, last name in ascending order. So in sql, the sort in sql you can sort the results of a query by using the order by clause. So that's what we have done, and execute, we get our results. Good. That is question 3. Question 4. Question 4 comes here. Select a derived column from the person-to-person table, aliased as person title, that consists of the person first name, followed by a space, followed by their last name, followed by hyphen, followed by the person type. Here there are 3 concepts being tested. The concept of concat with separator. You can concat. You can also use the other concept being tested is the use of basically the concat is being tested how to combine more than one column. That's what we call concat. So we're going to use select. I'm going to type select all from person that person. Okay. So apart from use of concat, the other thing that is being tested is the use of aliasing, or how to alias, or how to rename a column. That's what we call column alias. So I'm going to select first name followed by the middle and the last. Okay, and include a square bracket. Now then I concat the word concat, or the function name concat with separator. We just use with separator. Single quote, comma, first name, comma, middle name, comma, single quote, then is an hyphen, an hyphen comes followed by person type. The person type comes, then I close the bracket. So I want to replace this one with the person type. Okay, then a comma. The correct spelling of first name, middle. There you go. So now the word concat and column aliasing. So this one is named as person title. Execute my query, the results displayed that way. The other way of doing that, this one, I can use the word concat. So instead of concat with separator, just write concat, open a bracket, first name, put a space, again a space before and after the hyphen. So this is another way of working all that. So it gives the same output. The two gives the same output. Now I move to question 5. Select all rows from the human resource.employees table where salaried flag equal to 0. Include the following columns in output: business entity ID, vacation hours, sick leave hours. Then you have a derived column named total time off. This is a derived column you will calculate by adding vacation hours and sick leave hours. Then you are told to note, sort out the output by total time off in ascending order. In this question here, a number of concepts again have been applied, like number 1, the use of where, the where clause. You also have the sort, where we're going to use the order by. That is concept number 2. And of course we have addition. How do we add fields or columns in database. Now let me start by using the word select star from the schema, which is the human resource. The human resource dot employee table. Then I'm told to include only the business entity. We also need the sick. We need the sick leave hours and the sick the vacation hours. We also need the vacation. Vacation hours. Okay. So these are the fields you're going to extract from the table. The business entity ID, the vacation hours, and the sick leave hours. So how do we go about adding the two to get the derived column? So we're going to add the column vacation. So I'm going to open a bracket. I'm going to add vacation. Can I just copy? Instead of typing it, let me just copy it and then I put a plus instead of a comma. Then I alias it as total time off. As total time off. Then I close with a single quote to make it an alias. Okay. So there's something wrong. You can see this crime. Yeah, this one. Let me remove that comma. Good. Then I go ahead and sort. So I want to sort it by what? Total time off. Order it by total time off. Total time off in ascending order. What else? So I'm forgetting something here. Yeah, salary flag. Salary flag is another column missing. So I need to include it. Okay. Then below here I need to capture the salary. So where? So delete from. You can see where salary flag equal to 0. Salary flag equal to 0. And this one here, can lift it, can bring it is my query. Now execute, give me the results. Okay, so I think that is well answered. Now move to question 6. This is the second last question. Okay, select what was from the human resource of employees list table, including the following columns in your output. The first one is the business unit ID, rate. Then I compute the weekly pay by using the rates of 40 hours per week. So that is how the weekly pay is arrived. So I just multiply 40 multiplied by the rate per hour. So I now select star from human resource, that employee pay history. So that's the schema I'm going to use to retrieve my data. So I'm going to select the business entity ID. I also need to select the rate that way. So the two will give us the output. So the business entities here. So to get the pay or weekly pay, I'll multiply the rate per hour by the 40 so that I can get the weekly pay as weekly pay. As weekly pay. So what else? Then I run my query. Good. I now have my results. So what if I want to do away with the decimals? If I want to do away with the decimals, I'm going to use the cast. So I'll type cast. So the function cast will change the data type from decimal to integer. So I'm going to change this column from decimal to integer as a decimal 18. So I'm going to round it to 0 decimal places. I'm going to round it to do decimal places. Okay. So there's a closing bracket somewhere there. Openings are two openings and then 2 closing brackets. There we go. Now this one will give me the output. Then I need to order, to specify the order. I can order by, so I'm supposed to order it by what? By weekly pay. So I'm going to order it by weekly pay. In which order? In descending order. So I'm going to order in descending order, then I execute. Good. So you can see the column has been rounded to 0 decimal places to whole number. So my last question. Modify your query from question 5 by adding a new derived column called total days off. This column should be built on our math for the total time off by factoring in an assumed 8-hour day. So I'm going to lift question 5 query as it is. I'm going to copy it, then I paste. paste. Okay, so because I'm modifying it, so the column should build, or this column should build on our math for the total time off by factoring in an assumed 8-hour workday. So I'm going to remove this one and I replace it with total days off. Total days off. Okay. The same. This one. Total days off. Okay. Then I'm going to factor in the 8-hour, the assumed 8-hour work by dividing by 8, so that I can get the total days off. As simple as that. And I execute my query. Good. So that is my last question. Okay, so thank you for watching. If you find this video helpful, go ahead and subscribe. You can like, drop a comment. See you again in my next video.